Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation of a woman who wants to return her adopted child just because God has blessed her with her own boys. And I'm thinking in my head, what sort of solutions can we give bearing the child in mind? Because as far as I'm concerned, the child is the vulnerable person in this situation. The child is the helpless person in this situation. The woman is a full-blown adult who knew what she was doing, who used this child to get and fill that vacuum. And when the vacuum was now filled, she decided to discard the child. Now, what would be the best scenario for this child, knowing that she's coming from a place where she's already competing her two boys with the child? And we know how that, for those of us who came from polygamous homes, we know how that spirals down when there's this competition of this is my own, and that is my own, and this is not my own. And we know how these children are being brought up. What sort of solution do we think would help this boy have a semblance of a life somewhat?
Well, I think she needs help. I think she should go and seek maybe therapy or something. Somebody should really talk to her. And at the same time, the child, if she feels she really doesn't want to keep the child, I don't know, she needs to be talked to actually, because I know somebody who adopted a child some years back. The child became the pillar of that home, became the pillar of that home. The blessings that came to that home, second to none. He became the breadwinner. He was the one that took care of the father, the mother, up until they passed on and all. So that child could be a blessing. So I think she should go, sit down, think very hard, and also seek therapy. People talk to her and all, so that she can still keep the child. And she should be sympathetic, be a mother. Let that motherly this thing kick in.
So we have another caller, David from Lagos. Good morning, David.
Daniel. Hello?
Good morning, can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Daniel. I'm calling from the platform. Yeah, the case is really touchy. I mean, so much of the big. I think my contribution, first, I want to, there is anything that women have to do in a situation like this, in terms of penalizing whosoever, something like what I'm now hearing concerning the woman. That is because the way I look at it, I stand to be corrected. It's possible that there will never be harmony in the very woman and the adopted child, and if the marriage has already begun to have issues. So I'm looking at it that if there's a way something else can be done to that child, so the adopted child can go to a place where he will be safe. Because the way it is, I'm not even of the opinion of that woman to take the child to the teacher of her relatives, because with this kind of bad mindset, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And conclusively, sometimes I wonder what people mean by inheritance. What are you inheriting? What are you getting? Because he didn't know this would be alive. So you really think, someone may say, God forbid. It's not about God forbid. We're talking about practical. How could she descend so low to this level? He adopted someone, and God blessed you with biological children. From the inception, that person is adopted. Legally, is your own biological child as well. So it's so painful. I feel pain, because I'm perceiving intuitively that even someone now here with that very woman. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You said a lot of things. I just
Okay, so for me, it would be that I hope that a conversation happens with the husband. Because the way she tells the story, I'm not sure the husband is aware of how she feels. And if he's not aware, he's likely to just, trust that she's loving all the children equally. And so that child may lose the protection that he needs from a father when being raised by a mother that's hostile. So there are situations of biological mothers also who will just pick a child and make that child the black sheep. And for some reason, they cannot connect with that child.
even their own
Biological child. So, but in such cases, maybe other family members are aware and you're able to protect that child. But that does not mean the child will not be traumatized by a mother that does not love him. But at least he's able to find some support from some sort of circle from, other family members. I hope that happens. Secondly, if it's such a hostile environment, now she may not be able to do it. It still depends on everyone in that family noticing how she behaves. They may have to look for a more accommodating household for that child, because it's not only about being a family is not just about being a house with father, mother. It has to be a healthy environment, so a place that can make him thrive. Right. And if it means him leaving that house and leaving that woman, so be it. Yeah. But also, this is a conversation for adoption agencies. What are the sort of tests that you carry out before you allow a parent, a prospective parent, adopt a child? How long is the process? Do we allow? Is it okay if the person looks well, dresses well, has money? That should not be enough. So a lot of things. But of course, we know that there's no foolproof process with human beings. Yes. You see a person that talks normal, but the head is going.
And people change after some years.
It's something in the back.
Yeah, we have another caller, Sheyi from Kaduna. Good morning, Sheyi.
Good morning. Good morning to the ladies of your view. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Please, concerning this topic, the woman has to be very careful. She's such an ungrateful fellow. That child is a source of blessing in that home. People that know her, they should know her that she should love that child. Or else, if she is bent on traumatizing and frustrating that child, because it doesn't make sense. At this time, she should now return the child somewhere else. People should talk to her. She does have to love that child. Because God might just, if she's bent on traumatizing that child, nothing will happen to those things. God might decide to take her out of the picture. That's just, she should, people that know her should please talk to her. She just has to love that child. That child will not suffer. Because that child is a source of blessing in that home.
Yes, I agree.
But if she's all bent, God can just decide to take her out of the picture. And someone else will now come and take care of that child and the other children.
You never know. You do 3-0.
You should talk to her. She's dare not. She has to love that child. That's the only way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amaka.
They said you people should talk to them. Well, you people should talk to them.
Society, stop judging them.
What's the best
so my take here is that adoption agencies should just rely on just the checks and then give you a child and then walk away. You also owe a duty of responsibility to that child to come and check from regularly to see what's going on, if the child is okay. You know, you gave out the child as a baby. How about coming to talk to the child when the child can speak and can express him or herself to know exactly what's going on and how they are coping and fending in that home? You understand where I'm coming from? Because you gave the child out as a baby. The child should know that they maybe over time, maybe at least when they are 3, when they are 5, you know, you need to come and see. Are they going to school? Are they using them for child slavery or child, you know, is child molestation going on? They need to be able to continue, be hands-on with the parents and with that child. That's one. Then secondly, we need to learn to extend grace.
To people.
I'm irritated at this woman, but I'm going to extend a bit of grace in terms of the fact that we don't know when she had her baby, whether she's suffering from postpartum depression. And nobody can say, even if she had the kids for a while, nobody can say how long you can suffer from postpartum depression. So let us extend that grace to her to see what exactly is going on with her, because from the conversation, when she adopted this child, she was okay with it. She loved the child. So she had her kids. So maybe something is going on some way, somehow, that we might not understand. So I think the welfare, the husband, the adoption home should get involved. The woman needs, the woman needs medical evaluation. They need to really understand if she's going through something and make sure that the child, the safety of the child, you know, is protected. And if perchance nothing is going on with this woman and it's just who she is as a human being, then that child needs to be taken away from that space, from that hostile environment, that space, because it's not, the child can't thrive in that kind of space.
I agree with you. I also understand that not every woman has the emotional capacity to raise children, but it's a conversation we're not ready to have in this part of the world. I've seen mothers who, even their own biological children, maltreat them, and they don't see anything wrong in it. I've seen mothers who lay curses on their own children. In fact, if this particular child is not doing it how I want it to be done, or is not following the path that I set out, I will curse you. And most of them are a joker. Christians. I've seen that. And that got me thinking for a bit. And I'm like, are you sure we are all actually supposed to be mothers? Should we be truthful to ourselves? And I see some people these days who say, I don't want to have a child. And I respect them for that, you know, for taking that stand, because they know what they can do and cannot do. It takes self-awareness to know that I can't deal with this. Let me just be by myself, manage my emotional trauma by myself, my emotional garbage, however, by myself. I don't want to bring another child into the space to come and experience this. And we call them selfish. They don't want to have a child. These people, they just want to gallivant and dress up and look fine and do whatever they want to do. But we really do not understand the sacrifice it takes for you to know who you are and stand by it without wanting to hurt other people. So let's have the proper conversation. Is everybody fit to be a mother? And this is aside adopting. Because for me, if you are fit to be a mother, whichever child is in front of you will experience your nurturing abilities. You will not be selective in which child experiences it. Let me give you another instance. I used to be a classroom teacher, right? There are some teachers that are nurturers. They take every child with love and care and pay attention to their emotional needs. They are the teachers that will spot that this child is now wee-weeing in class. This child is no longer eating. They spot it and then they have conversations with the parents. There are other teachers who, my business is come and teach you 2 + 2, and I walk away. I don't care about what's happening in your life. I don't care. In fact, if you don't dress well, I will sit in the staff room and gossip your parents. They are not looking after you. They are not taking care of you. And they're teachers as well. But we have realized that for you to be in that space and be effective, you need to be a nurturer. But not everybody can. And that is life. But can we be truthful to ourselves to know that I cannot?
Exactly.
Man, know that
But
herself.
BC, me, I will say this. She must love that child because she has already taken
cannot,
that child. You are saying that she doesn't have that emotional,
may
but
not
she has
have
that
it.
emotional capacity to be able to take care of her own
For
children.
now.
But she does not have that emotional capacity to take care of that one she adopted. She must take care of the
Look,
three of
can
them.
Okay, can I may?
She has
Okay,
to.
go ahead.
Okay, so in nature, I mean, if you look at other animals, there are some animals that kill their own children. In fact, when you...
Let me pause you so that I can hear everything. We have another caller from Ishaga. Good morning. So you give me your full.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Oluwakemi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah. What I can only contribute is likely what other people said yesterday. But what I can only say is that there is no bastard child anywhere.
Nope. Okay.
It was the way you train your child. You can even train anyone. You understand? There's no bastard child. That's my only question. Even my own child and the other child anywhere, I can bet it to you that there's no bastard child anywhere. It was the way you train him or her, your child, whether your biological child, your adopted child, or anyone, your surrogate, anyone, the way you train them will now tell in the future whether they are bastard or not.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, I was just saying that in nature, we have different kinds of mothers. If you look across the animal kingdom, we show different characteristics. There are some animals that will have their, especially if you raise animals, you know that this particular chicken, anytime the child comes out, she steps on them, she kills them, you know. And then there's some you would take the eggs from another one and give. So if we understand that there are people, that we're all different kinds of people, then we'll maybe have a little bit of empathy for them and also learn to respect people when they tell you who they are.
Yes.
This is who I am, I cannot do it. I don't want to agree with you when you say that a person who cannot raise other people's children cannot raise theirs. There are different mothers. There are some people who, their husbands will bring in children from outside and they'll raise them with their children and you would never be able to tell the difference. There are some mothers that cannot. They are the best mothers to their own biological children, but they cannot bring themselves to be stepmothers. So we are different sorts of people, but we need to be honest with ourselves. So with this woman, if we were to sit with her, what sort of conversations happened before she went for the adoption? Was it something she wanted, or was it something that her husband insisted upon? Or was it something she did because she felt society wanted her to do? So that's the mindset, we need to look at. Then we need to also realize that she may have truly loved the child, and then when she got her biological children, she realized I can't love this child that is not mine the same way. And that is why the adoption agencies have a lot of work to do. And as I say, it's not foolproof because really you cannot tell what a person may turn out to do in another 5, 10 years. But there are people who will tell you, you know, you would hear stories of people who say, until my mom was on her dying bed, I didn't realize she was not my mom. But I just always felt she treated me differently. I didn't know why. You know, meanwhile, the story was that that child was brought in as a small child, was raised. I know this is my mother, I love her, but there's just something that's always been there. We just never connected. I just found the papers to see that. So there are human beings like that. Mine is, if you know you're that sort of person, please do not bring a child into your home where you would, you know, strangle the person's destiny. It's not fair and it's not right.
Honestly.
We have another caller, Lisa Okearu. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, how? I love you, ladies.
Good morning.
My own contribution is that I would suggest that this woman should return this child. Yes. She doesn't have mind of her own. And we don't know whether she's not even financially okay. We don't know the kind of pressure she's going through this. From her family or from the husband or through the husband's family. She doesn't have mind of her own. So let her just return this child and forget about it. That's my own contribution. God bless you.
Thank you. I agree with also returning the child, right? Because I know that you can still adopt children till like they are 12 or so.
Yes.
Now, if she returns the child at the age of 3, the child will still be able to adjust to another mother easily compared to when the child grows to like 10, 11 and maybe...
But there are no mothers just waiting to adopt children.
So they have, So let me give you small gist.
Okay.
Let me give you small gist. So I know that the adoption process in Nigeria is tough.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes,
it
I
is.
have a friend who's been trying to
it
adopt
is.
since.
Very
Yes, it
tough.
is.
It's you don't even, and that's why the illegal markets thrive.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yes, they
Right,
thrive
yeah.
because the adoption process here is not smooth.
Yes.
So in this case,
hurdles, yes,
a
the
lot.
hurdles you have to cross, and we don't even know if this was adopted
Exactly,
illegally, yes
or
or
not.
not.
Yeah.
The hurdles you have to cross. Sometimes people just give up. I have a friend. In fact, we even gisted yesterday, and she was like, she has given up. There's no need. She has
Because
a
she's
child
still
already.
waiting.
Yes, but she has been on this process to add another child. She said, well, I'm not even doing again. I've lost hope. In fact, I'm going. I'm done, you know, because, and the other lady too that, you know, adopted and was loving it after how many years? She's an elderly woman now. It took them years.
And
they
we
kept
see
going
why.
back and forth, and they were doing okay. They kept going back and forth before they finally did. It took them a long time. So I think they also need to make it more seamless and then follow up. So the work does not stop at the point of adoption.
Yeah,
The work
exactly.
continues, like they do abroad.
Yeah.
The work continues.
Does it?
Yes, it
No, it
continues.
continues.
It
They're supposed to
continues.
check regularly.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Anyway,
Are
I've
you
not
sure?
been
Because
abroad to see
yeah,
that
are you
system.
sure? Because if you listen to adoption stories, children don't really know. Some parents are able to keep the identity of your biological parents away from you. I don't think it is normal that the adoption agencies follows you.
To a certain age.
Yeah, it follows you through life.
No, not through life.
But
at a
somehow they don't
certain
want the
age.
children to know
Because
that they're being adopted.
yes, so
Some
second,
parents-
because you move, you know, the child may never be in contact with the adoption agency.
Yes.
Probably the adoption agency with the adoptive parents may have communication, but the child may never even be aware that that happens. So I don't think it's a process that many parents will also want, where you're constantly in their
Coming
face as
to
they are
check,
trying to raise the child.
Yes.
So we're talking about this case because it's an anomaly. You know, you're hoping that these adopted children are loved and are being taken care of. And then to have an agency constantly in your face to check you. What the people that do that's abroad is the social services. And they do that even if it's your biological child
Or not.
and they think a child is at risk. So we won't have that. But I think this conversation really brings to mind the thriving illegal adoption
Agent.
centers that we have in Nigeria. Because if they went through this long process,
Rigorous
you know, it gives you the time to reflect and think, am I really ready
Am I
for
ready
this?
for this?
But if
Exactly.
you had to go to that room
And pick it
where
up.
teenagers
Up a
are
child.
allowed, you know, packed up in a room, are giving birth, they'll say, is it the boy or you want? Or girl, twins, carry one boy from here, carry one girl, carry. You know, that way you can decide, the way I got him is the way I can return him. It didn't cost me much, it didn't do anything. I take him so I can return him there.
We have another caller, AB from Ikorodu. Good morning.
Good morning, you ladies.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm happy to get through today. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, concerning the discussion on ground, I think the people that gave this child to that woman, I think she should return the child because she should just return that child because she will not love that child like her own child. If she can speak out, and say such a thing. The Bible says, from abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. He's already running in our heart, he's already running in our mind. So I think she should return that child so that that child can be adopted by somebody else and that child will be loved.
Yes.
Will be loved. Please, it's better. She should return that child. They should take that child from her. That's my own opinion, and I think that's the best opinion. They should take that child from her so that she can concentrate. Let her take care of her twins. Let her love her twins.
I agree with that.
I think that would be better. Thank you.
The child is still young. In a few months, the child will forget the other. No, for 3 years.
No,
I don't remember.
No, my brother.
I
No,
don't remember.
like my eldest brother. Some people have long-term memory. Yeah, my eldest brother and my sister. I can't remember, but they can remember.
Yeah.
My eldest brother can. It's some people, their brain is. Some people
Exactly.
have
But
long-term
after a while.
No, you don't know. Let me tell you why it may be hard. I lost my dad about that age. And there are things I remember when I tell my mom, she's in shock.
Whoa.
So maybe because when he passed, maybe that trauma made me hold on to such memory.
Exactly.
So that is possible. But it's still better to take a child away from that toxic environment. But you remember, we're not talking about a single mother. We're talking about a woman that is married. Does the husband want to return the child?
That's another conversation.
That's another. But another thing you should put into perspective is the fact that some mothers wake up and walk away from their homes and walk away from their own children.
Yes.
They wake up, pack their bags, and leave 3-5 kids at home with the husband and move. And you don't get to see that woman again the next 15, 20 years. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a decision that person has. And that husband, even though you're upset, or the in-laws, you're upset with that kind of woman, you should be grateful that she stood up and took a walk because you don't know what she was trying to prevent. If she has stayed back, you don't even know the mental state or mental health of those kids growing up. So maybe she made a decision that I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. Something must have triggered her, and she took a walk. So in this kind of instance, this woman is telling you on time that she wants to check out of this relationship with the child. You need to listen. I need to respect that, regardless of anything.
I agree.
Do you understand? You can't force somebody to be in a marriage. You can't force somebody to be a mother. When people decide to check out, those selfish, please respect that.
But she would also respect the man who says, I know you don't want
But
this
the man can
relationship
hold
with
the
the
picture
child.
now.
I want a relationship with the child. So she must respect that the father wants to be a father.
Yeah.
If she does not, because if she's asking, if they put it on the table, it's like either me or the child, the husband has the right to choose the child.
Of course.
And tell her walk away and also leave my twins for me.
Exactly.
Because you're refusing.
Of
It's
course.
such a big issue.
Yes, such a big issue.
I think it's
I'm
something
also
they need to
worried,
sit down and talk
Ramati.
about
I'm also worried that she hasn't even started having this conversation with her husband.
Yes.
That's
The innocent man
Does
may
not even
not
know.
be aware.
Yes.
And what can happen, because I know that women, a lot of us know how to pretend, is that she pretends to love this child when this guy is there and then starts maltreating the boy when the father is not there. And unfortunately, in this part of the world, they look to us as the nurturers of the home. So most of the outside jobs will be done by the man. He may be away most of the time. He's the one that will come back late. He doesn't know what has gone on in his house from morning till night before he gets back. So a lot of us were
And the way we raise
crossheads.
children, we can hide maltreatment under this.
They won't see it.
Yes. And me, my own is that the fact that she even came out and said that the reason why she wants him out of her home is because he's going to inherit, he's going to come and fight.
How much do they have?
You don't even know what this child what this guy child is going to become
far
tomorrow.
into the future.
That they are sharing septic tank. How much do they
That
have?
boy is going to be a billionaire tomorrow.
You don't know his destiny.
Athletes.
Let's take another call, Aveg. Okay. We have you, Joma from
What
Anthony.
if they are billionaires?
How much? Hello, Ijoma, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. You're live.
If I can talk now.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this is my first. Okay, this is my first time calling.
Welcome, Ijoma.
Okay, I've always watched the something. Okay, well, today, I'm so angry. Very, very angry.
Wow.
Yes, I'm angry because, like I've seen how you are talking about this. Okay, now, my own understanding, if you want to adopt it should be. In fact, for me, if I adopt a child, I'm supposed to love that child. Even if I have my own child. When I have this thing, I have to ask a question. I asked my husband, I said, is it that God does not see people's mind? Because if God sees people's mind, that woman doesn't deserve those children. She doesn't supposed to have her own child because she's evil. I don't see why people can. In fact, for me, the first thing in life is to be kind. We say no other thing. How can you adopt a child and tomorrow you are telling people that you don't want that child again? So what do you want the child to do? To do what? I'm so angry. For me, she has to love that child. Because if she doesn't love that child, she doesn't know whether the children will live again. So let's try to be kind. We should be kind people. So that's my own.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a few more messages as we wrap up.
Okay, I pray for God to speak to this woman because this thing she's about to do is definitely the devil speaking to her mind.
They don't blame devil.
Yeah, some people will never adopt no matter how long they have waited to have a child because they know they can't love another child like theirs.
Yeah.
Oladidi here says to want to send the boy away means there's no attachment between her and the baby.
She never had.
Benedicta says 3 years is enough to bond, especially with an innocent child. Deeplay says she's supposed to know the person she is before taking a step to adopt. That means she's not self-aware. Moritala responded and said barrenness forced her.
And many people are not self-aware.
Yes.
Self-awareness is a step in maturity. Many people don't have.
Yeah. So, wrapping up the conversation, we're not judging her. It was just a message that came and we decided to exploit because, like you rightly said, many people are not self-aware. And many people have a lot of baggages and trauma that affects their decision. But in all, we must be attentive to other people's needs. It's not just about us. It's not just about what I feel and when I'm done, I can now push you aside because I've gotten what I want. It's not just about using people. It's about having empathy for people. It's about putting yourself in that shoe. Anything could have happened to her while she was birthing her twins and somebody had to adopt her own child. And if tomorrow the person gets tired and says, okay, these twins will come and be going, I've already gotten my own. In her grave, will she feel nice? We need to learn to have empathy for people. And I think she needs to have this conversation with her husband. First of all, they need to both be on the same page. And I also need the man to understand that if she really does not want to take care of this child, you will do the child a disservice by insisting the child stays, because it's the woman that actually runs the home. Whether we say it publicly or not, we know what goes on. We are in charge.
You may run the home, but you cannot take my child away from me. I'm the father of this child. I love my child.
You can be father and go to work, and I'll be mother after you've gone to work. No, I'm just saying.
Yes, and
the reality. The reality of the whole thing.
No, I'm saying that we're giving her to. We are forgetting that the man has rights over this child as well. Do you understand? It's because she's the one that told the story. What if a man comes up now and tells the story of how they adopted a child and now his wife says she wants to return the child? What should he do?
Please, can the man come and say his own? I'd like
to come and give us his own. So we can talk about. But this child, every child deserves love. Every child deserves to be taken care of, and we must do our bit as mothers to ensure that even children around us get a feel of our love and our care, and that's how the universe should work. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to yet another celebrity gossip. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.